Welcome back, everyone. This is James Bellini. I have Melissa and Sierra. They're here to talk about a little bit of animal abuse they believe going on in Tom Green County.
Yeah.
Right. How are y'all doing today?
Great.
Good.
All right. First off, animal abuse is obviously everywhere.
Yeah.
There are packs of dogs running around. There are colonies of cats running around, and nothing is getting done about it. We're not talking about cats and dogs so much today. We're talking about horses, right?
Yes.
All right. So go ahead and just talk about.
So generally, getting any help for any animal cruelty, anything here is ridiculously hard. Like,
Right.
sheriff's departments won't do anything. Animal control can't do anything if it's outside city limits. And there's one situation in particular that I'm referring to, but it's happened on multiple occasions with different people, different situations.
This is probably far from the first person
for
who's
sure.
ever.
Yeah, so I foster with All About Horses Rescue and Sanctuary. They're a 501c3 here in San Angelo. They're awesome. She does really great work. She saves a lot of animals. So I'm not like just someone out of the woodworks that's never seen a skinny horse or never,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like
You've
I've
been
seen
around
it.
them enough to
Yeah,
know.
and I know what refeeding looks like, which is where you take a skinny horse and feed them back up.
Right.
So, and the situation I'm talking about, I don't know if we name names or how does that work?
You can do what you want.
So I hate it, but so there's a little business, I guess, in Buffalo Heights called Punchy Wild Rides, and they've since removed their Facebook page, so you can't really go check it out yourselves. But previously, they had pictures of skinny horses in their profile pictures. They were charging people to let their kids sit on these emaciated horses, and hiding behind their rescues. They're old. They have infections, whatever, And this has been over the course of 3 years, and
So
I.
This isn't the first time.
Oh,
You didn't
no.
just drive by them one
No.
day and saw, oh, those horses are skinny, and then
No.
called the
Yeah, and I.
called law enforcement. You've seen this over and over and over.
And I was in 4-H with the daughter. Actually, she's really sweet. Like, she really is a good person, and that's why I tried to do it the nice, helpful way first. But anyways, I was in 4-H, and there when me and my daughter quit. Like, my daughter loves it. She loves doing the horse events. And I had reached out to the leader of the 4-H club, and I was like, hey, what can we do to help them? I have messages, screenshots, where I had asked if we could do, a segment on nutrition, so that, and show body condition scores, and maybe that would help them. So I did try to do things the nice way and the kind way, but, of course, everyone on Facebook wouldn't believe that. But I have the proof if you want it. Anyways, over the course of 3 years, these horses, there's a trend. I have very obviously laid out plain and dry
Right.
pictures of when horses came into their rescue. She calls herself a rescue. And then pictures of when the horses either died or are currently their current state. And
Right.
every single one of them, minus one, which is a gray horse, has come in healthy, looking great, full-bodied, great feet, and has either died emaciated or is currently emaciated. So, the proof is there. I don't know,
Right.
I don't understand why people are coming from the woodworks to protect these people. I just...
But you figure San Angelo's such a big rodeo town, and it's such a big, that's part of West Texas culture around
Yeah.
here, that
These
taking care of your
horses, yeah.
animals and horses and other animals,
Yeah, and the sheriff's department, I'd ask them if they knew anything about horses before they went out there, and they're like, no. I'm like, you're in Texas, come on. Can we
Right.
have a training to let them know what body condition should look like, and if somebody claims it's a bacterial infection, look into it. Look into
Right.
it. There should be proof of that. There should be antibiotics. There should be... Oh, they also refuse to call out a vet to tell them, yes, this horse has a bacterial infection, and so does this one, and so does this one, because there's multiple. But anyways,
Right.
it's not rocket science, you know what I
Right.
mean? I've refed plenty of horses, and I've posted the proof of that on my social media, but, what do? You can only do so much here.
You become a San Angelo Love.
Yeah, I've exhausted all options, and I hate it. I don't like bullying people. I don't feel like I'm being a bully, but I don't like breaking people down and, tearing
Right.
them down, but,
But you said you tried to be helpful.
I
in the
did,
past
and I
before
have
it got to this
screenshot
point.
proof of that. Yeah, I have proof of that. I messaged the person directly trying to be helpful, and I sent her pictures of what my horses look like, and how when they have a point on their butt or their sacrum, I think it's their sacrum. Anyway, that it shouldn't look like that. That's
Right.
thin, and her excuse was, oh, he's got a bacterial infection.
Right.
And he died shortly after that. So, and she claimed that they were poisoned, by the way. And I was like, get a necropsy. But a necropsy was never done. So,
Right. And you said they've also taken these horses out to rodeos and done barrel racing with
Yeah.
them.
Yes.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the person that puts on the barrel races is actually like firmly on their side, and I don't understand why. And a lot of people are, but yeah,
Whenever this horse is skin and bones, and we're talking, you can see every bone, every rib, every indenture, even in its hips and its back. And, you know, you raise a point of concern, and then they go out and they ride it. And there's proof that they've ridden this horse.
Mm-hmm.
And the person that puts on the barrel races is still, oh, you don't know what they've been through. They're going through a lot right now. Just ignore it.
and
Stay out of it. That's not okay.
the sheriff's department was called then too, and they came out, and of course nothing was done, and then it caused a big riff with the person that puts on the barrel races. Like, if you're going to be doing this, like, you're not going to be welcome out here. Like, then what do you do? Do you just turn the blind eye? Is that the better thing to do? You know, we're their voices. We're their only voices. And I'm not, like, trying to be, like, a tree hugger or, like, a, you know, whatever. But what do you do? You know? Like, I feel like I'm doing the right thing, and that's why I'm here.
And I imagine, I've been to the rodeo for 3 straight years, almost 4 years, and every performance. I imagine barrel racing is extremely hard on a horse.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
For sure.
Imagine, you know, you as a person, let's say you go and you are in track, and, you know, and I expect you to sprint and jump over hurdles. Okay, I want you to do that as fast as you can, as hard as you can, and you're being timed. That is about what I would put into, like, human terms.
Yeah.
Right.
And say it's kind of the equivalence. You know, I want you to run as fast as you can, go turn that tree, you know, and come back to me.
And there's money on the line of these things
Yes.
too. So
And now try to
you're
do that.
Really
It's hard.
pushing that animal.
Yes, and then you know, it's the animal running, and then now let's add a person weight on top of that. You know, weight of the person, weight of the saddle. You know, everything that's involved. Okay, now you're kicking it. You know, now you're doing this and that to get the horse, to encourage the horse to run even faster. You know, and by no means is barrel racing, you know, it comes in terms and stuff like that being abusive. It's not supposed to be.
It's not supposed to be. Sometimes they love their jobs, man.
And, you know, if you have a horse that loves your jobs, it's just like having a kid that loves track, you know? You tell them, okay, you know, go run around the block and they'll do it, you know, without a care in the world.
But now
I
try
mean-
to do that underweight, undermuscled, and see if you get the same results. You know what I mean?
No, I've heard people, you know, say it's abusive, but I've never seen animals taken better care of.
Yeah,
Than
the
at the
performance
rodeo.
horses. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Than
not
the
just the
performance
horses, though.
ones.
You've got the bulls and everything,
Yep.
too, that are
Mhm.
well
Yep.
taken care of.
Yeah, all
Yes.
healthy, all vetted. Like, there was one bull that had broken its leg, and they got its leg fixed. Like, typically, you just put him down, you know?
Right.
But no, he was a good bull, and they wanted him to live, and they take better care of him than most people, like, you know, normal public. Another thing is, which you can wiggle this in wherever you feel like, there's proof that 3 of those horses they got in decent condition have since died. And we're talking the course over 3 years. Yes, like on Facebook, like everyone's like, oh, those are old pictures. But it still happened.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? It still happened. And some of the pictures are current, so they can scream old, old, old all day long. But the proof is there. Like, there was a horse named Ammo, and who knows why he dropped weight. But at the end of the day, if he's dropping weight, take him to the vet. If he can't maintain weight, put him down. There's no reason for something to starve to death, regardless of whether it's a medical condition that's causing them to lose weight or lack of feed. If they are starving to death, put them to sleep. Don't just let them die.
Right.
You know, same with Thor. Thor was skinny. He was being ran at barrel races, but when he first came to her, he was beautiful. I have pictures of that. He was filled out and gorgeous, and there's no explanation as to why a horse can go and in less than a year look like poo-poo. Like, you know, just look bad, you know?
Right.
There's no...
And, you know, they say, oh, well, both of those horses, they were old.
They were not old.
Before, they were running them. Like, running hard.
Continued to run them when they were thin, too, especially Thor.
Yes, and, you know, because they were producing money out of them, or, you know.
Not even a lot of money either. Like, it's silly, the amount of money. Like, play days are for fun.
It's,
Play days,
it's
you don't make
supposed to
money.
be fun. And, but, like, you know, like, they were running them, and then all of a sudden they're dropping weight. and then it turned into, oh, well, they were old and they were hard keepers.
Or they had a bacterial
infection. Whereas, you know, I personally own a 20-year-old mare, and she looks in great condition.
Yep.
She's partly retired now because, you know,
why run an old horse into the dirt?
Why run her? You know, sometimes I'll take her out for fun, you know. But, you know, I work hard on, you know,
Your 6-year-old.
my younger horses.
Right.
You know, it's not that hard to just look and go, okay, you know, you've done a good job for me. Here's a break, and let me keep your weight up at that. Yes, you're not running for me. Am I going to treat you any less? No.
Right.
Because I still value you.
I'm glad you brought that up, because y'all aren't just people who have driven by and go
No.
home and don't have.
No.
Y'all own horses. Y'all
Yep.
own animals. You know.
Yes.
Yep.
You
Yep.
you volunteered at rescues.
All about
and-
horses. Yeah.
Yes.
So y'all know what it's supposed to be.
Yep, and what
Yes.
it's supposed to look like, and how not difficult it is to put weight on a horse. Like, I mean, I showed you before we sat down
Right.
pictures of horses that I've gotten thin, and within a month or two, huge difference. And age does not equate emaciation. Like, I will scream that from the rooftops, and I will die on this hill, because this isn't the first time that I've fought the police department, and at that point, Ashley Stahl was involved too in trying to help. An instance, there was starving horses, and a deputy was sent out, and he called me, and he's like, "Oh, it's because they're old." And I'm like, okay. Like, age can cause muscle loss. It can cause
Right.
them to be a little thin, you know, but it does not equate emaciation. And of course, when the rescue got this horse, the horse is fat and healthy now in an adopted family. Like, she looks great, you know? So the excuses of age or infection or blah, blah, blah only goes so
Right.
far. Like, I have 5 healthy horses, and when something's wrong with them, they go to the vet and we resolve it before it becomes a problem, you know?
Right.
I'm heated.
So, I mean, yeah. But
I'm heated, and I'm the
all
bad
y'all are
guy.
trying to do though is y'all are trying to raise awareness. You know, if you see something, say something. That doesn't just apply for, you know, other things. If you see an abusive situation,
Yep.
you need to say something.
Yes.
Yeah, but the thing is to who in this city,
Right.
and that's what I told Mr. Bacon. What is he?
Rick Bacon. Rick Bacon.
What is he though?
I don't know.
He's the cut that out. What is he? Do you remember?
Banda. Who is he?
County
County
commissioner. Okay, I'll restart. So that's what I told the county commissioner. Is like, who do you talk to? You see something, say something to who?
Right.
Like, everyone is what I'm trying. You know, everyone. That's why we're here, and that's why I look like the bad guy, and everybody on social media that's friends with her is like, kind of attacking me and her and just being mean. Like, I'm not a bad person, you know?
Right. No, but you've seen this for the past few years,
And
and it's an
turning-
issue.
Yep.
And it's also, you know, who do we go to? But then also, whenever we do go to said person,
Yeah.
what other repercussions are we going to face?
Oh, yeah.
You know, are we going to face
Get kicked out of
Are
barrel
we going to
races?
get kicked
Yeah.
out of barrel races from now on? Are we going to
I
be
don't
like,
think that should happen. I mean, if these
It could, though,
shouldn't.
because
I
it was
know,
a threat
but if
to
these
her.
people are such, I mean, if you're in barrel racing and you are
They
part
should
of the
be
rodeo
advocating
association,
Yes.
they should be advocating for them. You're
it's
right.
because it's not that hard to see a situation and go, okay, you can't run here anymore. Or at least until, you know,
You
your
fatten up your
horse
horses and then come back.
and come back. It's, you know, go to the problem, not the person that raised, you know, a concern.
Right.
And, you know, then the concern shouldn't be this big old,
Yeah.
you know,
it makes it
chaos.
scary to say something. It really does. Like,
And
when
it does.
Yeah. When I finally posted, I was like, oh man, like, I'm gonna piss some people off. People are gonna think I'm the crazy
We
one.
work at
you
San
know.
Angelo a lot.
You're the king of pissing people off.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I
And-
did.
And it is, and it's also, you know, what are we gonna face from here on out? Are people gonna look at us and go, oh, they're the problem?
Yeah, that's that person.
You know,
that
they're the
turned in-
drama
Right.
starters. You know, we don't want that because we've gone, you know, 2 years now.
Trying to do it the nice way without. I never posted on social
You know?
media until year number 2, and all I did was post a picture of the horse's feet just to see what feedback would be, you know. And of course, the people that didn't know the situation were like, "Oh my gosh, like how does that happen?"
But you know,
it's an ongoing investigation, is it not? Are you allowed to just sell an animal that is being investigated?
I'm not.
You're not a
Yeah.
sheriff.
Up to date
The
on
sheriff
that.
won't talk to me either.
Well,
but you know,
He
and
won't.
then I'm 20 years old. I am a one income person. You know, I support everything that I do on my own. I own 2 horses. I own a 6-year-old, and I own a 20-year-old mare. both of those can be considered not, not cheap.
Keepers, yeah.
And I'm able to do it. I'm able to pay for their feed. I'm able to pay for their feet. I'm able to pay for their board. I'm able to do all this and still be able to pay for my own bills. And this is on my one income. Yes, I have to work my butt off, but it's what I want. It's what I love. This is what I'm passionate about. It's not this hard. It shouldn't. I'm not, I would never dream of letting my horses just sit out there and starve.
Right.
I mean, I've coughed up money to go to the vet. If one issue comes up,
Same.
I have been able, first person to go to the vet, and I'll cough up the money later.
Same. I'm like first name basis with my vet. If my horse takes a lame step, if Ramsey looked, I could not count. My horse is an Appaloosa, and he's got Man of War on top and bottom, right, which is a racehorse, and he's built like a thoroughbred, which are like lean, right? So I've literally taken him to the vet to be like, why is he skinny? And they're like, it's how he's built. Like, that's it. It's how he's built, but he doesn't have bones poking out. But, I've taken my horse to the vet, I've x-rayed his back with no reason to. Like, hey, I just want to make sure he's comfortable, I mean, I've taken horses to get their teeth floated when they looked a little thin, My friend's horse that was mine before I gave him to her, he just had lost a little bit of weight, and he was old. He's like 26, so I was like, okay, but like, he's never looked a little lean, so we took him to the vet, and he had a bad tooth. Like, it could be something as simple as that, but if you just do the research, find out why, you could fix it. Literally, now he's so fat. Like, he looks great, and he's 26.
If it is a bad tooth with these horses, you just let it keep getting worse and worse and worse.
Yeah.
Not only is it going to cost more money down the road, but you could have to put that animal down.
Exactly. Absolutely, yeah. If infection spreads, yeah. And if it is an infection, why is it so difficult to just provide the proof? And that's the same thing with the social media thing, is like, everybody that's asked for, like, hey, just go Facebook Live, show them, go Facebook Live and show everybody your horses if you're being, bullied or like taken out, like, this is all taken out of context.
Right.
But she says, I don't have to prove anything to anyone. And like, yes, but if you're worried about this heat on you and you truly believe that nothing's wrong, then go out there. If somebody accused me of that, I would open tours to my house. I'd be like, come on, this is my address. Like, you can come out at any time, and I will walk you through everything. Like,
and you have more than just horses.
I do, yeah. I have wolf dogs. I have foxes, fennec foxes, all exotics. I have a pending FDA license, too. Anyways, I have African crested porcupines, like Patagonian Maras. I took my Patagonian Mara. That's like a maybe $150 animal. I've taken him to the vet and paid $500 to fix his little foot. Like, it's you have animals, you spend the money.
No, then the reason I brought it up is because it's obviously passionate for you.
Oh, for sure.
It's gotten to the point where you had to come to us to get it out there.
Yeah, but
to push for it.
Yeah.
And, whenever I made the big post, I went all over San Angelo. It got a lot of, why is this happening? What can we do? Why is nobody doing anything? Yeah. And I got more whys than...
Because we have no one that will.
Because we have nobody around here.
Nobody that will. And the sheriff's department, I mean, they have, I guess, bigger fish to fry than worrying about horses starving and dying.
Well, even animal control does go out of the city.
Yep, they literally told me that if we were in the city, we would do something. We would push it. And I'm like, that's not fair.
But where do people go drop their dogs?
Yeah.
They drop them just outside the city limits. So
I mean, and Buffalo Heights is, 5 miles outside of city limits.
Yep.
It's not far.
I have emailed their HOA, and their HOA said they were going to send it to the board, but they're not going to do anything. There's a lot of people out there that don't follow HOA, which... none of my business, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I'm not a fan of HOAs anyway, but, I'm not going to buy a place that somebody can tell me what to do. Like, no. But I mean, like, literally, when I tell you I have exhausted all options, I've talked to PETA. I have talked on the phone to a PETA.
Those people.
Yeah, I've talked to a PETA representative. Like I said, my parents are hunters. Like, I don't want PETA involved.
Right.
I don't want, like, any spotlight here on, like, oh, they're going to come after the rodeo next, or they're going to come after,
right.
No, I don't want that. But, like, what else do you do? If our sheriff's department would just step up and do right and do what they should do, like, the proof is all there. The county commissioner himself was like, yeah, you have proof of a trend. Like, it's right there. I have dates. I have timestamps. Right. These are pictures that were posted on their social media. I didn't go, like, creeping and stealing stuff from random places. Yeah. And then the pictures from September last month were taken by myself from the road
what's the one thing that you want people out there to know? Just if you see something, say something.
If you see something, say something. And if you truly think that it's wrong, just keep standing up. You're going to have the people that are going to say mean things to you and call you crazy and, you know, bully you literally online. But, like, I feel right where I'm at. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'll die on this hill. I feel like I'm doing the right thing and that I'm not blowing things out of proportion or that I'm not misunderstanding the situation. So, I mean, I have friends that support her. I've seen them, like, hearting her statuses, and I'm like, ew. Like,
Right.
That's unfortunate, you know? And these are horse people. Like, there's vet techs. And I'm just like, they cannot
Right.
be that blind. Like, this is, like, it. But I think it's more of a fear of, like, well, if I go against them, what's going to happen? These are people that they see at play days. You know what I mean? These are
Right.
people they can see every day. So, like, if they're the bad guys, then you're going to start drama in your real life.
Right.
You know? So, anyways, at the end of the day, if you see something, say something. Stand up. Keep pushing back because our sheriff's department's not going to change if there's nobody to, like, make the change, you know,
Right.
to push for it, to push for them to do better.
Oh, and maybe if enough people
Yeah, that was the hope.
start reporting it, then
Yep.
it will change.
Light a fire under them, yeah. Yep.
Sarah, what's one thing you want people to?
I just want people to, you see something, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of those consequences because it's going to suck, but, at the end of the day, always be the voice for the animal. Like, I grew up on that, and from as long as I can remember, I remember always helping the animal,
Yep.
And, these animals, they don't have a voice, and, it just takes, just people to just stand up and be like, this is not okay.
Right.
Yep.
This is not right. This shouldn't be happening. Why is this happening? What can we do to stop this from happening even more?
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's just, be the voice of the animal.
Yep.
All right.
You see something, say something. Like, if it were a child, I'm sure the sheriff's department would be on top of it. Because children are also voiceless, but when it's an animal, me.
Right. Well, Melissa, Sarah,
Yeah.
thank y'all for coming in today.
Awesome. Thank
Alright.
you for
Thank
having
you.
me.
Absolutely.
I don't know why I clapped. That was weird.
Back to you guys.